Mother Earth is the source of life and the place all life returns to. She feeds us throughout our journey, and she waits for us to return to her. The Indian way is to honor the earth as the place of our ancestors. That is why the earth is sacred to us. The lands of our ancestors survive us.
And as for Pyramid Lake Paiute people, as a whole, as an entire peoples, we wouldn't have our name, without being from that land. We would not be Ku'ui Tekata. We would not be Pyramid Lake Paiute.
It's our belief that if you're not spiritually connected to the earth and understand the spiritual reality of how to live on earth, it's likely you will not make it.
The laws of the dominant society have become solutions for our people, whether we want to accept them or not.
So we're kind of in a position where we have to choose between economic development or our cultural survival and protection of our lands. That's the position that we're in. Those things.
That of the 100 dominant economic units in the world today, the 100 largest economic units, 49 are countries and 51 are corporations.
And we're bound together by electronics, we're bound together by technology, and the world has become, quote, a market.
We were told that we would see America come and go. And in a sense, America is dying from within, because they forgot the instructions on how to live on earth. We are all from the earth. And when the earth, the water, the atmosphere is corrupted, then it will create its own reaction. Mother is reacting.
When I think back of what this land was like, it was a land of plenty. We had beautiful salmon trout that spawned up our river. We had deer, ducks, geese. We had a way of life here.
People actually drank water from the river and the ditches because the water was clean at that time. We didn't have so much upstream water users, and so it was clean.
There are many concerns with the water quality in our lake for our ku'ui fish, found nowhere else in the world, and the sanitation from Reno is brought down from the Truckee and pushed into the lake, and that's always been a big problem for me, knowing that the water is not clean, the water is not pure.
If the Europeans had lived the Indian way when they came, we'd still be drinking out of water, because the water is sacred. The air is sacred. Our DNA is made of the same DNA as the tree. The tree breathes what we exhale. When the tree exhales, we need what the tree exhales. So we have a common destiny with the tree.
And no tree grows by itself. A tree is a community. Certain trees, certain plants will gather around certain trees, and certain medicines will gather around those certain plants. So that if you kill all the trees, if you cut all the trees, then you're destroying the community. You're not just destroying a tree, you're destroying a whole community that surrounds it and thrives on it, and that may be very important medicine for people or for animals.
With the Army Corps of Engineers, they came through and straightened the river from Reno downstream, clear through our reservation, and straightened the river, so that killed a lot of habitat along the river, and there was no fishing in the water because the water just went through straight to the lake.
A scarcity of game, not as many deer, not as many antelope, You know, you still see them, but not in abundance as they were.
We, as mankind, are the only ones who do not give to the rest of the cycle. For the rest of the cycle is constantly giving, giving, and giving. And we are constantly taking and taking and taking so that we might have life.
Power is always in the people's hands, authority. They need to come of one mind, and they need to challenge the values that are being shoved at them today, because this has become a consumer society. It's driven by economics. It's not driven by common sense. It's economics.
With more plants coming into the different areas and in our areas and the pollution all over, you know, and the disease rate is going to be higher because of the people, more people coming in and more plants coming in and more smoke and smog in the air. The air is not clean. So, and then like the wild habitat, that's going to be probably even worse for the younger people to hunt, to try to live like the old days, you know.
Seventh generation reminds you that you have responsibility to generations that are coming. Because people talk about their rights, but they never talk about their responsibility. And leadership has got to have that above all. They've got to have vision. They've got to have compassion for the future. They've got to make that decision for the seventh generation. That's not just a casual term. That's a real instruction for survival.
Without the land that we have, I would not be who I am today.
Numa manamutura, no kuyo itakara, I nanishtuhena naka, Bijaya pia tipo kuba, I namina, I namurue kapa, katip, katuish, kasonga hanapu, kapuinarushtuhe, pewa, no ayoni namurue.